why you kept going. What did my son did to you?
A mother's plea for answers after losing her son in a hit-and-run crash. How it also hurt a driver who stopped to help. And a warm-up is here just in time for the weekend, but meteorologist Jonathan Kegas is pinpointing another cold front on the way. Plus, even more new details about how a man died after riding a coaster at Epic Universe, what the medical examiner's report reveals.
I was sad, you know. You kind of just like stripped something I was looking forward to all year away from me.
That high school student and his classmates all paid $400,000 for a trip of a lifetime that never happened. Tonight, months later, deputies arrest a man for fraud on the other side of the country.
And it's hard to look at her as an adult when I last seen her, she was a 3-year-old.
And just an incredible story. A father and daughter reunited 4 decades after she was kidnapped. The serious charges a local woman faces decades later. But we start now at 10 tonight with a local family demanding the person responsible for hitting and killing a 21-year-old come forward and be held accountable. Late Monday night, Taj Palmer was hit by one car. That driver stopped to help. Then both of them were struck by another car. That driver is still on the run nearly a week later. It happened on Silver Star Road near La Havre Boulevard, just east of Evans High School. Your Pine Hills community correspondent Jarrell Baker spoke with Palmer's mom, sister, and friends.
Family and friends of 21-year-old Taj Palmer are outraged.
It's Christmas coming up. We can't see him. We can't talk to him. We can't do anything.
His mother wants to know who's responsible for his death.
I just want to know why you kept going. What did my son did to you?
According to FHP, Palmer was hit by a car while crossing without using a crosswalk near La Havre Boulevard around 11 p.m. on Monday night. While that driver got out and was helping Palmer, a second car identified as a blue Chevrolet Malibu hit them both, sending Palmer to a local hospital where he died.
It's hard because I'm already dealing with another child that's in the hospital because it happened the same time my son was going in for surgery.
FHP says the second driver got out of his car just to check his car for damage. Then he took off.
And that's just so wrong how whoever did that. They didn't even come and apologize. They didn't have no sympathy to come and apologize, to show their, to show their face.
This year, Silver Star Road has seen 8 pedestrian crashes between Mercy Drive and Good Homes Road. Taj Palmer is the only fatality.
They need to put up more signs and crosswalks like they have on the trail to prevent these kind of things from happening.
His mother, sister, and family and friends say that Taj was a loving, caring man with his whole life ahead of him. They're planning to hold a memorial in his honor.
I pray that God find you and you get locked up for life because you just took my son's life. I won't be able to see him no more.
The family has also set up a GoFundMe to help cover Palmer's funeral expenses. The active criminal investigation is still ongoing. If anyone has any information, they're asked to contact FHB or Crime Line. In Pine Hills, Jarrell Baker, News 6.
We are learning new information tonight about a man who died after riding a roller coaster at Epic Universe. Today, the medical examiner released the autopsy for the 32-year-old. Yesterday, the sheriff's office ruled the death an accident and closed this case. News 6 investigator Mike DeForest is digging into what the ME report reveals.
We are learning even more new details about how a 32-year-old man died after riding a roller coaster at Epic Universe. We had previously learned that Kevin Rodriguez Zavala had broken his femur or his thigh bone about 4 or 5 years ago. Well, in this newly released autopsy report, we're learning that previously broken femur was on his left leg. According to the medical examiner, after his roller coaster ride, it was discovered he had also shattered his right femur with new injuries around it. Why is that significant? Rodriguez Zavala's girlfriend, who is sitting next to her boyfriend on the Stardust Racers roller coaster in September, told investigators he was fine until the coaster began its first downhill descent. That's when the girlfriend says Rodriguez Zavala lifted out of his seat and repeatedly hit his head on a metal bar in front of him. Now, normally the coaster's lap bar restraint would prevent that from happening, but the implication from these new reports is that Rodriguez Zavala may have at least partially slipped out of his restraint because of his broken right femur and his previously dislocated left femur. In fact, a witness who was standing in line for the roller coaster that night, who happened to be a doctor, told investigators she thought his broken femurs played a significant role in him striking his head on a metal bar. It's unclear from this new medical examiner report how Rodriguez Zavala may have broken his right femur, but this report does confirm he was paralyzed, and we know he used a wheelchair. In general, people who are paralyzed have lower bone density and are more likely to break their bones. Mike DeForest, News 6.
Now, earlier this week at 10, Mike showed us how Universal officially reported the death to the state, first blaming, quote, pre-existing conditions before altering that report and dropping that wording the next day. You can find all of Mike's reports and read the Sheriff's Office incident report by going to clickorlando.com. Just look for this story. It is on the homepage. Another big story, our weekend warm-up is here. It started out pretty cool this morning as we take a live look now at our Lawrence Credit Union Port Cam and our Daytona Beach Cam. Expect to see more people enjoying the wonderful outdoors over the weekend. But meteorologist Jonathan Kegas is here now, and he says another cool down is coming.
Yeah, we're still doing this up and down thing, seesaw temperatures over the next couple of days. We're on the upswing, though, for the weekend. We felt that this afternoon.
Oh, yeah, it was nice.
Big turnaround, for sure. We were going to see that even in a bigger way. We'll start things off a little warmer. Now, it's going to be chilly tomorrow morning, but seasonably chilly. So, again, if you're out early, you might want the jacket if you're walking the dog before the sun comes up. But once the sun comes up, boy, it's going to do a number on our temperatures. Also, because of this area of high pressure, it helped to chill us down last night. But now that it's moving back out over the Atlantic, you see the clockwise airflow, those arrows going around it. It's inducing a southeast wind as the air goes around that chunk of high pressure. So we're getting that southerly push of air now, the warmer air from the southwest Atlantic and the Caribbean moving back up. So the combination of some sunshine and that southerly wind are going to help to get our temperatures a little bit warmer tomorrow. So we're talking upper 40s and lower 50s to start across most of central Florida. And you see there by 1 o'clock with some extra clouds, we're going to see temperatures into the 70s. We'll talk about how warm it gets in your neighborhood coming up at about 10:19.
See you then, Jonathan. Thank you. In Orange County, a woman is accused of making child porn and then sending it to a man who is serving time in federal prison on child porn charges. News 6's Mike Valenti was at the Orange County Jail where that woman faced a judge this week.
The facts as alleged in the arrest affidavit certainly support it, so I'll hold the defendant no bond.
33-year-old Taylor Dorsey, far from stoic during an initial appearance in court Thursday, charged with directing or promoting the sexual performance of a child.
I'm going to order that the defendant have no contact with any minor child.
An affidavit states it was the company Yahoo that reported an account associated with Dorsey uploading 40 files depicting child sex abuse material. During the course of an FDLE investigation, authorities alleged Dorsey was sending child sex abuse material to Steven Anderson. Anderson had access to an unauthorized cell phone while serving time at a low-security federal prison in Miami. Among the illicit materials sent to Anderson, FDLE says, was a video Dorsey made of the child Anderson was charged with sexually abusing in 2023. The state attorney's office later deemed that case in 2023 not suitable for prosecution. Meanwhile, the house where authorities executed a search warrant this week related to Taylor Dorsey's case is the same place police searched in 2023 before Steven Anderson's arrest. And although Anderson was not convicted on the state sex abuse charge in 2023, he was convicted in federal court of producing a video of child sex abuse and sentenced to 16 years in prison, 10 years supervised release, and required to register as a sex offender. As for Dorsey, she told investigators that she made the video of the child for a medical reason. It's worth noting that the day after the state attorney's office in Orange County dropped their prosecution of Steven Anderson, Anderson was arrested by federal authorities. As for Taylor Dorsey, she remains inside the Orange County jail on no bond. Her next court hearing is scheduled for December 16th. Reporting from outside the Orange County jail, I'm your Orlando community correspondent, Mike Valenti, News 6.
Volusia deputies are sharing new information about a travel agent accused of swindling high school students and chaperones out of $400,000. It's a case we first told you about a couple of months ago. Tonight, they tell us Robert Goodwin is under arrest in California, and detectives have flown out to speak with him. Parents and students at Seabreeze High School say they paid him to organize a 9-day class trip to Italy.
I was sad, you kind of just like stripped something I was looking forward to all year away from me.
A lot of people were using their summer savings. They were working after school and they were saving a lot of money.
102 Seabreeze High School students and chaperones each paid $3,500 to Stone and Compass Travel Agency in 2023. Detectives say a month before the trip was supposed to happen in 2024, students got an email saying the agency was going out of business and there was no money for refunds.
As soon as we found out that it was getting canceled, the company closed their website, shut down their email, shut down their phone numbers. There was no way to get in contact with them.
Somebody took their money, and that probably will unfortunately affect them for the rest of their lives.
The sheriff's office also says Goodwin's agency was sued by several other organizations with similar claims of fraud. Goodwin was taken into custody on Wednesday. Volusia Sheriff Mike Chitwood is inviting students and parents who lost money to be at the airport when Goodwin arrives back in Volusia County. No word yet on when that will happen. A multi-million-dollar upgrade is underway in Orange County. It's to make the trip to and from flights go more smoothly at Orlando International Airport. Now, MCO posting these photos on social media today. Last night, the first set of gate-link cars serving gates 100 to 129 was removed. The airport's next step is building the new track, upgrading electrical systems, and installing new cars. This is all part of a gate replacement project that began earlier this week. It's an incredible reunion 4 decades after a little girl was kidnapped.
She's always been in our heart. I can't explain that moment, walking in and get to put my arms back around my daughter.
How that father finally met his now adult daughter and the serious charges a local woman is now facing. Also, a different kind of reunion, how a teen is now back with his family in Brevard County after being jailed in Israel for nearly a year.
During this holiday season, more young people are struggling with depression, anxiety, and even worse than we've ever seen before.
A new holiday song is striking a much different chord. I got to see how a local group is using music to highlight the struggles many teens face this time of year. You're watching News 6 at 10 on a Friday night, covering Oviedo, Palm Bay, and all of Central Florida.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Central Florida Honda Dealers.
She's always been in our heart. I can't explain that moment, walking in and get to put my arms back around my daughter.
Now on News 6, a cold case in Kentucky solved after more than 40 years, and now reuniting a father with the daughter he last saw when she was just 3 years old. So late last month, the investigation into the missing child case led detectives here to Central Florida, to the Villages, and that's where they arrested this woman. This is 66-year-old Deborah Newton. She was arrested on a custodial interference charge. This all started in 1983. Joe Newton says the family was planning to move to Georgia. He says Deborah Newton left early with their daughter, Michelle, and when he arrived, they were gone. 2 weeks ago, Michelle says police showed up at her door and told her she is a victim of a crime.
You're not who you think you are. You're a missing person. You're Michelle Marie Newton. My intention is to support them both through this and try to navigate and help them both just wrap it up so that we can all heal, and hopefully, you know, there's just apologies and start healing.
So the interference charge carries no statute of limitations. Deborah Newton's next court date is next month. A teen from Palm Bay is back in the U.S. tonight after spending 9 months in an Israeli prison. The emotional return caught on camera. The caption on this Instagram video reading, "He's home," and the Arabic phrase for "Praise be to God." Back in February, Mohammed Ibrahim was accused of throwing rocks at Israelites, or Israeli settlers, I should say, while visiting family in the West Bank. He originally faced a 20-year sentence. His family and members of Congress fought to free him. Brevard County community correspondent James Barbero spoke with Ibrahim's aunt and uncle about the ordeal. They say their nephew suffered inhumane conditions, including just a spoonful of rice a day to eat. Well, for some, the holidays just do not feel joyful at all. Anxiety and depression spike this time of year, but a group of young influencers are working with a local nonprofit to help change that. I found out they've created a unique approach to make the holidays more hopeful, especially for teens.
The perfect Christmas tree.
This group of Gen Z singers and influencers got together to record "Wish It Felt Like Christmas." While it is a holiday song, it is not about cheer, but instead about the reality that for many young people, Christmas and the holidays feel different now. Chloe Adonis says the song hit her immediately.
I personally know so many kids my age who are going through something hard, and they may just not have the support from their family or their friends, and so the song brings that connection and comfort.
They are a part of a new mental health initiative called Breaking Through, founded by Andre Bailey, who says the crisis we're seeing among teens is unlike anything we've faced before.
During this holiday season, more young people are struggling with depression, anxiety, and even worse than we've ever seen before.
He says despite living in a year of opportunity, today's teens are drowning in pressure. Some of that pressure was evident recently when 3 high school students in Seminole County took their own lives in the same week.
We've seen stats recently that say as many as 1 in 5 of our teens and 20-somethings wake up every day feeling depressed, feeling anxious.
Bailey says this heavy emotional pressure is exactly why the song was written, inspired by a moment when someone close to him admitted they felt nothing at all.
We were looking at the Christmas lights, and Santa was in the corner with the kids on his lap, and the music's playing, and she turned and she looked at me and said, "It just doesn't feel like Christmas this year." And in my head, instantly I heard, "I wish it felt like Christmas this year."
I wish it felt like Christmas.
Maddie Leanne says she understands.
This Christmas feels a little bit different because this year my great-grandma recently passed. So this song kind of gives me a sense of hope and peace and lets me know that everyone is in this together and we all have these feelings during the Christmas season.
And Gabby Murray says her own experience with mental health made joining the project non-negotiable.
I've dealt with anxiety and depression my whole life, and we want to just come together and spread awareness, make sure people don't feel alone.
And this season, the message is simple and perhaps more needed than ever.
I just wish it felt like Christmas.
Just because the lights are bright and twinkling doesn't mean you have to pretend everything is okay.
It's okay to not feel okay this holiday season.
Now, the song is available on Spotify. If you or someone you know is struggling this season, call or text 988. All right, turning now to our forecast. We have been waiting for the weekend. We know a warm-up has been promised, and we felt it earlier today.
It's crazy. I mean, just how cold it was this morning, and then the nice jumping about like 25 to 30 degrees this afternoon to get us back into the mid-70s. There's a live look for us in downtown Orlando, live look with our Light Orlando delivering Hope Skycam. Air temperatures now into the upper 50s. Again, it's on the cool side. It is seasonably cool, so we're not going to be waking up to temperatures like what we had earlier this morning. It'll still be on the cooler side. You may want the jacket when you start, but we're going to be seasonably cool again. That's right where we should be for this time of the year. That puts us right now anyway at 52 in DeLand, certainly cooler northwest of I-4. Wildwood, good evening. We are at 43 degrees, 48 in the Villages, 47 degrees in Ocala right now. Tomorrow morning, again, cool. Certainly not as cold as what we woke up to this morning. We're at 55 in Orlando, Titusville. We're going to start our day at 56. Palm Coast, we will slip down into the 40s, so we get chilly across the northern tier of Central Florida once again. Highs tomorrow. Nice rebound coming our way. Mid to upper 70s under sunshine. There will be a few extra clouds. If you notice, if you were outside early this afternoon, those higher thin wispy clouds started to come back in. I think tomorrow we're going to keep those around. And we're going to add a few of those puffy clouds, developing with the warming of the day as we also induce that southwesterly wind. Warmer tomorrow, warm on Sunday, and then we have some cooler air coming through. Look at the temperatures right now. These are the actual air temperatures, and this is the biggest blast of cold air so far this season for the northern tier of the country. I don't think we see our coldest air. I don't think we rival the cold that we had earlier in November, but it's 8 below in Bismarck, 2 degrees below in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I think the core of that cold, again, stays across the northern tier of the country. There comes the southerly wind pumping in the warmth for the weekend. You see the clouds moving from south to north. There's 10 o'clock on Saturday. Watch what happens, though, as we get into Sunday. The clouds are going to start moving in the opposite direction. That's because a new front comes and sweeps these all back down to the south and west. There's Sunday, 8 o'clock, couple of showers can be possible. And then I do think we are locked in the clouds. It's kind of like the last front. If you remember, the clouds just really never went away. And I think we do stay locked in the clouds on Monday, and that's going to help to keep us on the cooler side. First night of Hanukkah on Sunday night, looking pretty good, though. Sunset 5:31, back to the upper 50s by 7 o'clock, 55 degrees by 9, as some of that cooler, drier air spills in. Just to bring the clouds back again on your Monday, I think we start things off in the low 50s. We get back to the low to mid 60s under a mainly cloudy sky. A little cooler on Tuesday morning, but we do break free from the clouds as temperatures get back to the low 70s. You're going to notice a pair of 80s, Ginger, Thursday and Friday. Other than a little blip, maybe on the 20th or 21st, I think we warm things up into Christmas.
Cannot wait. All right, thank you, Jonathan. Well, if you've ever been an AT&T customer, even years ago, you may be eligible for part of a major settlement. The money tries to help make up for the damage from 2 major data breaches. The deadline for filing is coming up fast, though, so you have to act quickly. Next at 10, investigator Donovan Myrie shows us how.
If you've ever been an AT&T cellular customer, even years ago, you may be eligible for part of a major settlement tied to 2 massive data breaches. I'm News 6 investigator Donovan Myrie. The payout could be worth thousands of dollars to both current and past AT&T customers. However, the deadline for filing is coming up fast, so you have to act quickly. Recently, AT&T agreed to pay $177 million to settle claims stemming from 2 separate breaches discovered back in 2024. Customers who were included in this settlement had their account information exposed through the first breach. In the second breach, customers had detailed metadata from their calls and text messages exposed. Combined, the 2 AT&T breaches affected over 180 million accounts, with some customers being hit both times. The owners of the breached accounts should have by now received a notice from a company called Crawl. They are the settlement administrator for the case. So, how do you know if you're eligible? There is no public search tool where you can simply type in your name. Instead, go to the official settlement website, telecomdatasettlement.com. If you received a notice in the mail or by email, enter the class member ID that came with it by clicking Submit Claim. However, if you didn't get a notice or you lost your member ID, you can still start your claim process by skipping Submit Claim and instead clicking on Resend Class Member ID. If your account information or metadata was exposed, Crawl should send you information for you to get started. If you're still unsure and need more help, you can call the settlement administrator directly at 833-890-4930. Donovan Myrie, News 6.
Find all of tonight's stories, plus breaking news right here on News 6 Plus. It's free to download on your smart TV or streaming device. We'll see you back here on air at 11 o'clock. Bye.